How's it going, everybody? Signing in just a few minutes early. Have a little bit of a pre show before we start sketching tonight. I figured I would work on this cover, which is a nice surprise piece. And then we can start to sketching. Nice and quiet in the studio right now because this is just the pre-show, which I never know. You guys might be busy. I might just be sketching by myself sometimes, which is totally okay. We did have a couple of Saturdays where we weren't able to have the show, so I appreciate you guys popping in and hanging out with me for a while we make some art and come up with some cool stuff together. The pre-show is the quiet show. I see we have a couple of people hanging out with us. That's cool. Kevin, what's up, dude? What do we have here? Yes, this is a special cover piece. This is actually one of Chet's pieces, and it features Thalia, the cyber demon, and a very pissed off zombie. So I figure sign up a little bit early and put a couple of lines down on that. Sumo, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Awesome. Yeah, this is going to be for a special one of one cover. This is actually a long time coming. I tell you, when you get behind schedule, it really does take an embarrassingly long amount of time to get back on schedule. So I'm very happy that I'm surrounded by very cool, very patient people. Art is an art. I could have caught up by now if I just drew stick figures and just hurried up. It doesn't make it any. It doesn't make it. That doesn't make it right to fall behind. So there's some things that were out of our control. Who knows how long ago? And it's literally like a butterfly effect on every project that comes in after. So it's taken quite a while to get caught up. I finally did finish Nira X Dark Seas number 3. So that is off to Tom, off to the printer, and actually Tom is up and running with it as we speak. So I finally finished that book, and that was actually way too long coming. So we're righting the ship. We're getting everything where it's supposed to be again. See, Kevin says, "Quiet, give the characters a reason to make noise." Let's see, I should have known it was Chet's. Oh yeah, yeah. This is a cool piece. It was a cool idea to do this piece. I like the idea that he had for it. And I'm very much looking forward to getting all the other pieces that we've got planned like on the drawing board, dude. That's what I live for. Let's see. Oh, we still got a few more minutes. A few more minutes before we start. Inking always takes way longer than penciling for me. You want to get the lines precise. You want to when I'm penciling, it's and sketching things out. It's you're literally thinking out loud. You know, it's like you're sketching, you're throwing the ideas down, and you can always erase and move things around. So it's a lot faster in a lot of respects than inking compared to inking. When I'm inking, I'm just like, shit, don't make a mistake. That's where that line's gonna live. If there's a big enough problem, we'll get some white paint. We'll fix it. But it's nice to have a variety of tools. You know, using a brush pen, using brushes, using the art pens that we typically use. Just having lots of different tools for like lots of different looks. Right now, I like the brush pen for what I'm doing right now because these holding lines are thick and getting kind of a painterly line on them. I think it looks cool. It looks really organic, especially for like creatures like this. It's always kind of weird. I love using brushes. I never have a problem using the brush, but I notice that when I use pens, I'm very heavy-handed, which is weird because with a brush, like it's impossible to be heavy-handed. You sort of have to float above the paper no matter what you're doing. So I don't know what the paradox is with that. What's the problem with that? What's up with those pens? Yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit of texture up in there. 2 minutes. Yeah, we could put a little bit of work into this. There we go. Get a little bit. See, I always feel like I want to press down on the pen like super hard. I always have to catch myself and then I back off. nice little details and stuff on her. I always like being real organic with how I make shapes and stuff. This dude's got a lot of attitude. I think he's pissed. I thought this guy would be a good piece to do since it's October too. He's got the Halloween look. He's got the vibe. All right, well, it looks like it's 10 o'clock, so maybe I should make this more official and start this, get this little show on the road here. What do you guys think about that? And then we'll see where we go from there. All right, see you in a minute. Well, we're back, and it's Saturday. It's 10 o'clock. I got here on time. I got my stuff. I finished one of my books. I finished one of my deadlines, so I can start actually spending my days working on commissions and the pieces that we come up with here. So I am excited. Yes. All right, so let me see who's in the room with us tonight. I got some blank paper. Hey, I was in here a few minutes early, not that much, and I was working on Chet's cover piece. Just to let you know that things are progressing slowly, as they have been, but making good progress. Thanks, guys, for being so patient. Chet's piece here with Thalia and a really mutated zombie. It's gonna be a cool cover piece for him. That's what I was working on first. There's a nice stack of things for me to be working on, so I appreciate you guys. Let's see who else is in the room. Who's also in the room with us tonight? Chris Dehan, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. Awesome. Courtney, what's up? Hi all, and hello gents from Ken. Very cool. You guys bring that nice glass of wine to our show. I like it. Excellent. Let's see. Chris says that was a great piece. Oh, thanks, dude. I am glad you're digging it. That one's going to be, if I remember correctly, this is the one that's going to be printed as a 1-of-1 cover for the Zombies versus Cheerleaders Mira X crossover issue. So it's been a long time coming. So thank you, Chet, for being super super patient. Kevin says, "Is it time to request something with boobies?" It is October, and it is sketch time. It is art time, so I'm excited. So yes, yes, indeed. Christiane says, "Giant pumpkins, perhaps." We can have a giant pumpkin in the background, because I know giant pumpkins doesn't mean anything else. Courtney says, "Ken just said, it's evening, gents, so I failed." You say it the way you like to say it, Courtney, and he'll say it the way he says it. It's fine. Kevin says, "It's the great pumpkins, Charlie Brown." Pumpkins, plural. Oh, Courtney says that he's driving. Okay, I'll give it to you, man. I'll give it to you. First of all, thanks for like being with us while you're like mobile on the road. That's awesome. Just make sure Ken keeps his eyes on the road, man. We don't want you guys flying off the highway or anything. Kevin says, "You are never a failure. You are a cyber angel." She is. And I just finished that book, and she's got. I think she has one more small appearance in issue 3, which is pretty fun, if you ask me. I might actually show off that page. I might show you guys before the show is over. Now that I finally finished the book. Kevin says, "Driving you crazy." Always. Sumo says, "Was that like a little prologue before the show?" Nice. Yeah. I think when I have time, when I'm here early enough, before the show starts, I'll start inking and working on something that is already something that somebody either bought on a previous show or commissioned or something like that, just so everybody can see. It's like, hey, look, we're working on the pieces, we're having fun with them, and so that way you get a little surprise. You see some progress on your artwork. Yeah, Kevin says, "Mutated zombies. So the Umbrella Corporation is alive in your realm." Yes, indeed. I'm a Resident Evil fan, dude. From the old, I'm the OG Resident Evil. I haven't really played the new ones. I've seen so many clips on YouTube of different parts of the game, of the newer games, the more recent games, and I haven't played them. I played all the original ones. Kevin says, "You can send that 1-of-1 to me." Chet's gonna be mad. Courtney says, "How about an all things Halloween drawing? Costumes, Freddy, Jason." Starting to give me ideas, Courtney. This is good. This is good. I like ideas, and a Halloween theme would be excellent. That would be perfect for today. Kevin says, "A ghost in a transparent sheet." Sai, what's up? Cyber Angels Unite! That's right. Sai is our other resident Cyber Angel. Sai actually has a Cyber Angel in the book named Sai. I have to show you that page. I'm going to have to show you a couple of pages of the book before we get sketching. Christiane says, "Cyber Angels comparing their carved pumpkins." You're giving me ideas. This is good. Christiane also says, "Or out in a pumpkin patch." I like those ideas. Yep. Kevin says, "Body painted Cyber Angels." Ooh, I kind of like where that's going. Christiane says, "Body painted would be cool." I agree. That's 2 votes for body painted. Kevin says, "Oh, we had Cyber Angels in a pumpkin patch for Halloween once. It came out wonderful." Night Phoenix, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us. That's awesome. Says, "Wow, thank you so much." Very, very cool. Courtney says, "They could be nudes with carefully placed pumpkins, Austin Powers style." This is true. We could be a little creative with the placement of foreground items. Sai, see. Christiane says, "So many great ideas." I agree. Sai says, "I have my page." You have like the original up front page. Yeah, absolutely. You do. You do. Courtney says, Ken says the SDF one is frustrating but fun to build. Apparently, I'm currently his secretary. Taking dictation from the driver's seat of the car. The SDF one looks like it's going to be huge too. It's got like freaking like 500 bags of parts. But that is dope. It's going to be so dope. Let's see. Sai says, also, Bill, you're trying to have us do our next art stream the night before Baltimore Comic-Con after we've spent the day at the airport retrieving guests. Oh no. Well, we can always reschedule that. And nothing's carved in stone. I was just trying to give us a little bit of a breather, so that way we had some space before the thing. But you're right though. It's like, oh my gosh, like Baltimore is like literally like that week, like a day after, like 2 days after the thing. So if you want to make it a different day or make it the week after, it's totally cool. We needed to have some time anyways. I know we needed some breathing room too, just because the book deadlines just really crushed us. Night Phoenix says, don't forget Claire. Kevin says, well, at least he's not making you get his coffee. In a moving car, no doubt. Kevin says, but do you look good in high heels, Courtney Zezu? Kev, don't assume. No assumptions for me. Let's see, Sai says, we'll figure it out. It can't be the following Thursday because Shay has a paid party that evening. Okay, yeah, no problem. You know, whatever dates between Shay and Kat, whatever dates they come up with, I'm good with. Like I'm pretty flexible, so I'm not going to be too much of a troublemaker. But we'll make sure we get Kat in on the group chat, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out. Sai says, I look amazing in high heels until I have to walk. Courtney says, some heels aren't for walking. This is true. Some of the ones I draw Nira in are like so tall, it's just for posing. Unless she's flying, she can't walk in those things. Kevin says, you look angelic until you crash to earth. Sai says, we should make Kat do art with Shay while she's here. This is true. Should be a thing. Yeah, you guys have to work that out. Have to get it all in there. All right, let me see. Let me put this piece of artwork down. Keep it safe over here. So we're sort of thinking pumpkin patch. I'm sort of thinking landscape orientation. Just because we'd probably be able to put people in the pumpkin patch a little bit better. Might be a little easier than doing it like this. So we'll do it like this. Do a little landscape orientation. Let's see, Kevin says high heels are good rudders in the air. She's like the Rocketeer. She has to like turn her heels left and right in order to turn while she's flying. Sai says, hit the like, please, folks. I was only the second. I agree with Sai. Please listen to Sai. You gotta root for your friends. If you guys don't root for me, who will? Let me see here. Let me. I'm looking through some pages here, so that way you can see. Here we go. I could show you. Let me show you this page. This is page 19 from the issue. So we got a little look at Malka, the Cyber Angel, and also here we go. So here's Malka right here. Pew pew. I think Mercy's getting grabbed in the face. So I think Malka is actually saving Mercy in this scene. And then we've got Sai right there flying with the double guns. I wanted to draw a mermaid fight during this series, and that's why I ended up having like these different mermaids happening in the Darkon's Triangle. So you guys get a little cameo for this issue. Let me see if there's something else I can show off real quick here. There you go. There's the wraparound cover. Has Darkon's corpse. Well, he's kind of undead, so all of his zombies manifest and come out of his body. So we've got that situation going on, and then we've got Chet's Thalia, the cyber demon, right there, causing trouble as usual. All right, let me put these pages back up here where they're safe. Hopefully, I'll be able to list those pretty soon. As soon as the book gets printed, I'll be able to list those and make them available to people. Let's see. Night Phoenix says, I love the tall heels. I saw an old book with Mercy, and she had some badass heels. Yeah. She's got some big, chunky heels. I like, and her action figure has the same high heels. They actually made them just like the way we drew them, so they followed the design pretty tight. Kevin says, sold! Sai says, ooh, it's me! Let's see, Kevin says, that almost looks like a masculine cyber angel in the background on the cliff. On the cliff. Where's the cliff? Did I draw a cliff? Well, there was the underwater scene. Are you talking about Sai's character with the double guns? That's because she's got washboard abs, yo. Kicking it live. Sai says, ooh, it's me. All right, I'll leave it right there for right now. And I'll check in with the chat. I'll be back and forth between the sketch and the chat. And we'll see where this... Oh, back in... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, way back on the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a little silhouette, so it's just a gesture. Cyborg says, as seen on Apple TV. Hell yeah! In fact, Nera X was actually seen on Apple TV.
Wait, you cosplay?
Yeah, I cosplay Nera X at Moonfest every year.
See, Nera X was on Apple TV. I'm going to put that on a bunch of books, by the way. I don't think I can say no to that. All right, so I know we've got Pumpkin Patch. I know we've got Painted Cyber Angels. That's basically where I'm at right now. Night Phoenix says, these videos make me want to clean up the area around my drawing table. You have no idea. Oh my God, dude. Like right before I go live, like it's like I'm taking a shovel and just moving all the stuff off my table in order to to have this clean enough. Let me see if I can I'll do a mobile cam. I'll give you a little look around the studio. Let me see here. If the camera hooks up, we'll see. We'll see if the camera hooks up to this or not. We'll see what happens here. It might. All right, here we go. All right, so there's my little area right here. There's the stack of all of the different commissions that need to be worked on. Hey, look, there's a computer right there. Oh, does it want me? Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, so I'm over here. I got some drawers. Those are some drawers with commissions. These are drawers with commissions. Those are drawers with commissions. That's where Waffle likes to sleep. And that's where Cat likes to work. And then I've got my pile of art supplies Yeah, I've got the old art table here. It's finally cleaned off because I finally finished that Nira X book. So yeah, I had to shovel all this stuff out of here so that way I can. There we go. Let me move the camera. Let me move the camera back. There we go. So I know exactly what you mean. Trying to get this cleaned off so that way I can actually get around everything. I've got my little corner of the studio. Let's see. Courtney says headless horseman with the body of a cyber angel. Oh, it's a good idea. That's a possibility. I don't think I've drawn like a horse. I'd like to have an excuse to draw a horse in a piece too. So maybe. I'm hoping that sticks in my brain because I kind of want to do that now. Christiane says double header tonight, triple dip. Well, we're gonna try and shoot for 2 pieces, and I've got something extra that I'm gonna add on. That it is a Nira X sketch. It's like a not quite a 7x10 Nira X pencil sketch, and I've got my little stamp on there. So this will be something extra, little something extra for the show for later on. But hopefully we'll have enough time for 2 pieces tonight. Kevin says, "Uh-oh, the horseman is adopting a nicer look." The horsewoman. Paul, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. I see. Looking Bill, which project to me? Yes. Looking Bill, which project to me? Yes. Kevin says, I see a baby shark, or is that Waffle Shark costume? Oh no, yeah, that was a stuffed shark. Kat likes to collect stuffed sharks. Lately, it's been from IKEA. If she sees a stuffed shark, she feels like she needs to try to have it. And right now, that stuffed shark belongs to Waffle. So, Night Phoenix says, I have a small table on my bed and smaller pages and a big table for 11x17 and bigger. My last book was all digital. Yeah, no, it's good to have. Yeah, I totally get that. I like to go. I do all my heavy lifting as far as like coloring and digital art. I do everything on my iPad now, so I can kind of wander around and sit on a couch or get on a smaller table. But I got my big table for the larger pages. I try to do all my comic book pages still like 11x17. But yeah, no, it's good to have a variety, man. It's good to have a variety. Ooh, witchy woman. Christopher, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. It says, hello, my friend. Very good, very good. Courtney says, witchy woman. Shh. Be quiet. Night Phoenix says, I have a small table on my bed for... Oh. Did I just read that? There we go. I don't know why that came in twice. I'm scrolling up and down to like make sure I didn't have a stroke. But once again, I will agree with it twice. I will respect the double post. Kevin says, that sketch gives me some Patrick Nagel vibes. Now I imagine Cyber Angels posing for famous artists. You know, I've been wanting to do like some Patrick Nagel type pieces with the Cyber Angels. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm a total Nagel fan, so he quantifies a lot of the 80s for me. Paul says, early start tomorrow. Any chance I could do an absentee 69 bid for tonight's auctions? Absolutely, dude. Yeah, if you want to do an absentee 69 bid, you did write 69, you did write bid. So if you want to put in, are you putting in, do you want to put in a 69 bid for both auctions? That's what I'm saying. You put in auctions plural. So yeah, we'll do that for you, dude. In fact, I'll write a little note on the side here. It says, Paul, look at you, man. Preemptive 69. All right, I'll do that, dude. Because like you said, oh, see, I get how you typed it now. You have an early start tomorrow. So is there any chance you could say, okay, now I'm reading it correctly? No, dude, yeah. If you got to go grab some sleep, no problem. We'll have an absentee bid for you, my friend. We'll do that for you. Thanks, dude. Kevin says, I will allow that 69 to be posted. Kevin also says you need to finagle that idea. I get it. Some person, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us, saying hello to everybody. That's awesome. Christopher Bouchard, what are we drawing tonight? All right, we are in the pumpkin patch tonight. The only general idea for this pumpkin patch so far is that we've got Cyber Angels, we've got a pumpkin patch, it's Halloween, and the Cyber Angels may be body painted as opposed to, well, they might be wearing some kind of costume accessories. But here we go. Let me bring that a little bit closer. There we go. That way we can see what we're doing. We'll do the pencil a little loose, so that way we can actually finish our ideas. And per usual, these pieces are sketched with the intention of me inking them later. So if you do win the bid on the piece, you are going to be receiving a fully inked piece, and not just the loose pencil of what we come up with tonight. Always have to say that just in case somebody's watching for the first time and they don't know quite how we do things around these parts, you know. All right, let's get Nira. We're going to start with Nira. Why not? We'll start with Nira, and then there's going to be, we got to try and fit in a Cyber Angel Headless Horseman in the background, because that would be kind of dope. That would be very dope. Erase some of these lines out of here. Clean that up just a little bit. A little bit more of a concerned look on her face. It is Halloween night after all. You know what? If we're gonna have a concerned look on her face, then her eyebrow has to be doing a little bit of something like this. There we go. Get a little bit of a concerned look on her face. I make sure I don't fall too far behind on the chat. Let's see here. Okay, I already told Christopher what we were drawing tonight, so that goes for everybody. Kevin says, but only Courtney can do the boobs. Paul says yes, and that Nira sketch 2 plays. Absolutely, dude. Yep, it'll be for all 3 pieces. You're gonna have a preemptive 69 bid. So I'm gonna, I wrote that down on the side, and you're good to go, Paul. Thanks so much, dude. Christopher says hello to some person. Awesome. Kevin says, it's the Great Pumpkins. Some person says Snoopy meets Nira. Oh, Snoopy wouldn't be a bad idea. It's somewhere. I'm gonna jot that down real quick to see if we could fit that in. All right, I kind of noted that down real quick. Paul says, anyway, Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown can get a tribute. Yeah, there you go. We're on the same wavelength. Kevin says, shouldn't be Charlize Theron Brown. Night Phoenix says, a pumpkin girl chasing the Cyber Angels. I like that idea. Kevin says, that makes me think someone has been messing with the genes of the killer tomatoes and crossbreeding with pumpkins. Night Phoenix saying hello. That's cool. Some person says, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Run for your life. Kevin says, hey, it's some person. Aren't at least someone? Ken says, I can't do a preemptive boob bid. You could if you wanted to. If you're asking to do a preemptive boob bid, that is legal. We just made it legal to do preemptive bids tonight. So that is always a thing. You let me know. You let me know in the chat if that's what you're doing some boob bids. That's we've created such good traditions here. Thank you, Courtney, for the boob bid. Night Phoenix, second Snoopy. Yep, there's definitely going to be a Snoopy in here then, for sure. Courtney says, I work for MetLife. Snoopy, too close to home. Mighty Geek, what's up, dude? Mighty Geek says, Nira X meets the Headless Horseman. Ah, same wavelength, my friend. Same wavelength. That's good. That's good. Kevin says, looks like I'm just sitting back and watching tonight. We'll see. We shall see what happens. All right. Well, first thing we got to do is see what Nira is up to, and then there's going to be a Headless Horseman, which some of us have already voted needs to be a Headless Cyber Angel. And there also needs to be some Snoopy in the background, some Snoopy in the foreground. Something's got to be happening with Snoopy. Get Nira's hair flying in the wind here a little bit. Let's see where we are here. I think maybe Nira is, maybe she's picking a pumpkin, and the Headless Horseman is behind her. We are going to figure this out. And then we're also thinking about the fact that the Cyber Angels are going to be painted. This is going to be a fun piece, dude. Let's make sure I'm on camera here. There we go. I've sort of got the body paint splattered on her top. Very cyber skin looking. Okay, there's a nice little start there. We'll figure out where we go from this point. Let me get back here. Let me catch up with you guys a little bit. Let's see. Kevin says Snoopy on a broom and not his doghouse. I don't know, man. It's like I don't know if I can draw him not on his doghouse. Some person is asking, Bill, do you remember Bloom County? Yeah, I remember Bloom County from back in the day. I remember Bill the cat. I remember that. I remember that penguin. Kevin says, now who doesn't? Yeah, exactly. Ken says the headless cyber angel was probably like, well, it's not like you ever looked me in the eyes anyway. Some person just making sure, thinking of sneaking Opus in there. Oh, that'd be having Opus's ass fall off. Mighty Geek says, I think the other cyber angel would be afraid to go through Sleepy Hollow. Yes. Night Phoenix says, Snoopy. Yes, absolutely. We're definitely going to have Snoopy in here. Some person says, maybe Bill the Cat, a comic strip invasion. Kirk, what's up, dude? Kirk Basone in the house. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. That's awesome, dude. Very, very cool. Kevin says, I'm thinking of character Celty Sturluson. I can't say that real fast. Now, as she had the funny helmet and the skin tight motorcycle suit that distracted the eyes from the fact that she's got no head. Ken says, I'm no longer driving and my ass is in the couch, in case you're wondering. Okay, good. We need you safe, dude. On the highway watching the show. Don't think I don't feel the love, though, man. That's love. Kevin says, Snoop Dogg? Now I see Snoopy with a blunt. That may explain why he keeps seeing the Red Baron. Some person saying hello. Awesome. Ken saying hello. Some person says, so is this one extra big instead of two? I wasn't planning on making it two pieces. It's just a single piece. I guess having to turn it sideways. So I think our plan for tonight is still to do two separate pieces. So this one's going to be the pumpkin patch idea. And then whatever the idea that we come up with for the second one will be a completely separate piece. So I remember we did like a double big piece when we were drawing. We had a Giganta theme one weekend, so that was a lot of fun. Ken says, "Good gourd, those pumpkins are nice." Let me see here real quick. Oh, I know who you're talking about, Kevin. Yep. I know exactly. I did not know the name. I know the character. I mean, the character's in the culture, so it's like I see the character. Kevin was solidifying who that character was with the skin tight outfit and the motorcycle helmet. That way I wasn't operating in the dark. Kevin says, welcome, Gent Ken. No more party tonight. Night Phoenix says, Bloom County. Wow, that's old school. I know, right? I love Bloom County. Some person says later on Bloom County became Outland. That's right. I kind of forgot about it becoming Outland, honestly. Night Phoenix says, that's what I was going for with these Snoop. Mighty Geek says she saw the riders coming hard and heard their mournful cry, "Yippee-ki-yay!" I'm gonna put the Die Hard back there. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. McLean. Ken says, I'm wondering how this will turn into porn on its side. I know I have to turn it right side up in order for it to turn into porn. There we go. I skipped over. Here we go. Mighty Geek says, the Ghost Riders in the sky. That might be a thing. I didn't think about putting Ghost Rider in here somewhere. Some person says Woodstock perching on her butt or hair, whichever seems in character. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, because we're definitely going to have Snoopy up in here. So let's make sure Woodstock has a spot. this little area right here done good. Got this here pumpkin. Something's got to be happening with this pumpkin. I gotta see what's going to happen with this pumpkin. I was going to put Woodstock right there in the hole of the pumpkin, but I think he looks more correct perching up in her hair, actually. Just like you said. Woodstock's personality, I think, lends a little bit more to that looking right. Right here. So he wouldn't want to fall off, so I have him loosely in this spot right here. I'll tighten him up when I get into the inking phase. But we know where he is. We know where he is. That's the important part. All right, I figured Nira is kind of like leaning into the pumpkin patch here. All right, so we're gonna have some pumpkins, some big leaves. I'll do the leaves like really loose. There's no reason for us to spend too much time on leaves just for the pencil part. But I will do them a lot nicer once I get the inking part started. Oh. All right, there's where Nira is kind of like, she's either standing or she's like kind of like maybe like on her knees in the pumpkin patch. So I'll kind of like mark off where her foot would be. And we'll have some other leaves and things up in there. All right, well, we'll see where we go from here. Let's see where we go. Let's see. Ken says, just dinner with friends. Awesome, awesome. Some person saying hello. Night Phoenix says, some person, Outland didn't last that long, though. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't remember being around for very long. Bloom County was the OG. Ken says, Bloom County is back. He does a weekly strip on his site. That's cool. Bring back the old days a little bit. Some person says, I think they did another Bloom County run some years after that. Kevin says, yippee-ki-yay, where's John McClane? Slaying pumpkins. Ken says, Anira strips weekly on Bill's site. Hey-o! Night Phoenix says, I didn't know that. I used to read the funnies just for Bloom County and Wizard of Id. Oh, yeah, I remember Wizard of Id. There's just a handful of them from the Sunday comics that I would always gravitate to. Mighty Geek says, you all should listen to the song that inspired Marvel's Ghost Rider. I did not know there was a song that inspired Marvel's Ghost Rider in such way. Kevin says, Nira strips. I'll buy that for $1. Ken says, then Scribe's head should be in the pumpkin. Hey, I heard something about Niran. Yeah. Scribe could make it into that pumpkin. We might. We might. Ken says, oh, Malka as a sexy witch, maybe. Ooh, that might be cool. Ken says, and not because my wife is a witch of any kind. We're just trying to keep a theme here, man. Kevin says Scribe needs to be given a little head, like in Beetlejuice. Courtney says, a sexy, I mean, witch. Some person says Mercy as a demon, Hawk Girl, Mothman, or something with wings. Oh, these are good ideas. Good ideas. All right, so generally speaking, we've got a little bit of a horizon here with some leaves because they're in a pumpkin patch. Gotta have the occasional pumpkin. By the way, thank you for trusting me to actually ink this good. Some of these elements are like really just, you know, just throw them in here so that way we know where they are. Now I'm drawing where a head would be, but this is going to be the headless Cyber Angel horseman. So in order for me to know where the rest of the body is, I'm just going to kind of temporarily put in one cabeza, one head. Not even sure. We'll never know if this is going to be a Cyber Angel, but we'll know that it's a sexy female headless horseman. All right, see who we've got riding on here. She's coming to get me, officer. You guys are making me think of some cool design work here. Let's open up her little jacket here. She's a sexy headless horseman. Gotta have her holding up the big pumpkin head, right? Should have her holding up a big, just a cool skull. But I'll make it a creepy pumpkin. You know what? I'll make it a creepy pumpkin skull. can erase out the head and give this a real nice Halloween feel. The Green Goblin would be jealous. Start drawing in her saddle a little bit here. All right, she's starting to take shape. You guys gave me a good challenge on this one. All right, let me catch up with the chat just for a minute. See, Kevin says on a wing and a prayer. Well, I can see Mercy as a sexy angel covered in pumpkin goo. Some person says wearing a pumpkin head, maybe she's the great pumpkin. This is going to be a Charlie Brown centric piece. There's going to be some Snoopy action happening here in just a minute. Let's see. Kevin says, I'm seeing something out of a Benny Hill sketch that explains how the pumpkin would get on her head, like Curly and the Three Stooges getting it. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yep. You know, I'm going to let me put up just a little bit of reference for me, just so I get some nice little images to draw from. Sweet. All right, cool. I'll just leave that there for a minute. Let me see what we got here. Some person says a classic. That is a classic episode. That Three Stooges, for sure. Courtney says, love the pumpkin skull. Excellent. Ken says, it may be too big of a piece to do, but maybe if you do a second piece tonight, it could be the Cyber Angels as the Pumpkin Spice Girls. That's a pretty good idea. It's a lot, but it's a pretty good idea. I love the play on words on that one. You got me thinking about it. Some person says, Mercy, where'd my head go? How am I still talking? Kevin says, shouldn't that be thrown at us like at the end of Sleepy Hollow? Oh, no joke, yeah. Or Mystery Men with the bowling ball. She throws the bowling ball with the skull in it. Courtney says, Headless Horseman needs thigh-high fishnets. Why? I don't know. Thigh-high fishnets it is. I like. Let's see where her feet would end up first. It's gonna be a sexy Halloween. Nice. Oh yeah, she's got attitude. She's got attitude now. What has Snoopy gotten himself into? This will be Snoopy's sexiest adventure. Make sure the size of the horse feels right. I can always fine tune it later. I want to get the general shapes right. Make sure this horse is no slouch either. All right. This is going to be a lot of ink. All right, we definitely got to have. I'm leaving room here because Snoopy and his doghouse and a little bit of stuff is going to be happening there in the middle. So let me let that sit for just a second. Definitely wanted to get the fishnets in there. Kevin says Mercy has no head and she's still talking. I swear some women can never shut up. Kevin says thigh-high stockings to draw the eye up to her tiny thumb. Some person says maybe Gigi hiding behind a pumpkin. Yeah, you know, we haven't drawn Gigi. Giraffe girl, she's got to be in here somewhere. That's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see how much room we got left. This horse took up like the whole picture. I got to really tighten him up, but he's in position though, so that's good. Ken says the Headless Horseman is giving me Starfire vibes. A little bit, right? Some person says he's keeping up with the chat. Kevin says, why did I just picture slipping up behind Mercy and slipping onto her shoulders Robin Williams' head from Bicentennial Man? Could you imagine the reactions? Whoa, I got boobs. Some person says Gigi could be the next one. Ah, this is true. This is true. This is very, very true. Yeah, we do like Gigi. Gigi is... All right, so we got that general idea for what's happening there. Let's make sure we get Snoopy over here. Make sure I get the shape of his head just right. He's a man of few lines, but you gotta get him right. It's possible Snoopy could be having a good time in this picture. Didn't know if I wanted a second eye over here or not. I think I'm looking right at Mira. Gonna be a lot of cleanup on this piece. All right, got a leaf over here, got a leaf over here. Leaves over here. All right, we'll see where we're going here. Let's let that settle for a second. We'll see what we got going on. Actually, let's see. Wasn't really soap on that smile. There we go. A little bit better. We'll tighten it all up. Let's see. Night Phoenix says he makes it look so easy. I appreciate that, dude. Some person says maybe a terrified Opus behind the pumpkin. That could be good. Let me get a little Opus reference. Good old Opus. Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Haven't seen Bill the Cat in a while. Might have. If I draw Opus, I'm gonna have to draw Bill the Cat in here somewhere. Let's see, Opus can be over here, terrified. Make a little room for him. Good old Opus. There we go. I like his little. I always liked his little pot belly. He always has this certain. He has this posture that agrees with me. There you go. His little fingers. He's grabbing this pumpkin in the foreground here. Alright, so if he's here. Get this over here. cat might be over here then. You're gonna get to turn that light that way a little bit. There we go. That way it's not blowing out the drawing there. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Let me see. What time is it? Oh, we actually did good. We actually did good. About an hour or so on that piece. Bill the cat. See, we were on the same wavelength. Kevin says Snoopy has a reason to smile. Yes, he is. He's in the best seat in the house. Ken says Steve Dallas would make more sense in this, watching from the sidelines, right? Kevin says all you need for a Bloom County reference is a copy of Good Night Moon. My, what a big nose you have. Courtney says Ken's favorite Sunday comic was Kathy. Oh, I remember Kathy. Yeah. Ack. There you go. Have to have that up there. I'll make sure to make that little word balloon there. Yak. Some person says, Opus, where am I? Someone must be making fan art. Oh dear. Courtney says, and Family Circle. Family Circle. That was the one I read it, but I didn't want to. It was always it was very nice and very. Then I wanted to just get to my other. I wanted to get to my Garfield. I wanted to get to my other ones. Wizard of Id. Remember Hagar the Horrible? Family Circus. That's right. It was always Family Circus. It was usually, I would have agreed with Circle just because usually the panel was drawn as a circle. Most of the time, half of the time. Sunday comics. What are those? Kevin says, follow the line all over the comic strip. These are not my favorite comics. Just for your information. Okay, I'm making sure. We're taking her info as fact here, dude. Kevin says, isn't Family Circle a magazine? I think it is a magazine, actually. Maybe that's why it made sense to me. Ken says Calvin and Hobbes for sure. Far Side for sure, 100%. Foxtrot, I'll give that. I read Foxtrot like 70 to 80%. Yeah, for sure. Courtney says, I kid. All right. Well, this is our nice Halloween pick. I'm gonna put a nice little moon back here. Now, it's not lost on me that a lot of this picture is very loose. So just know that I'll be doing a lot of taking my time with the ink on this one, so that way we get a nice, cool picture. We definitely want to be sure we can use this for possible future books and possible, well, for sure we want to post it up on our Patreon page. So that is the Pumpkin Patch Halloween night piece. Some person says this is better. The last fine art was Kathy Hentai. Oh my gosh, I can imagine, but I can't imagine. All right, we're gonna set that one down. Let that one breathe for a minute. brush off the old eraser shavings here. All right. We got a fresh new piece here. Fresh new piece. We'll see if we can actually get a second piece done before the stroke of midnight. Some person says that's what Opus said. Ken says Foxtrot was like Big Bang Theory of comics. It was very, very nerdy centric. It was too, totally. Let me see. Let me look up real quick. I want to look up Gigi again. So I have a really, really good reference for Gigi. Maybe we're going to do something with Gigi. I'm not really sure. Not positive. What do you guys think? There we go. There's Gigi. Yeah, we like Gigi. Kevin says Gigi Edgley? Farscape. No, I think we were thinking about Gigi. You know, you remember Gigi, our giraffe girl. We invented her together as a group. And she's on the cover of Zen Bounty Wars #2, which is the next book that I'll be sending off to the printer this month. But luckily, production is going well with that, so it's gonna be good. Some person says Gigi doesn't have to be central. No, of course not. Of course not. But we do need some ideas for this second piece. I know that we were tossing around a couple ideas at the beginning of the show. So freshen my memory, or maybe come up with some new ideas, and we'll see about what this second piece may or may not hold for us. And it might be a piece like this. Maybe like this instead of landscape. Ken, what is it that you just said a little while ago about the second piece? Courtney says Malka Witch. Oh, I feel bad requesting Malka. Don't feel bad requesting Malka. Are you kidding me? The Malka Witch was that's what I was trying to see. That's why I try to jot things down when we're talking. I try to juggle too many ideas and too many things. I don't want things falling between, falling outside the lines, falling off the paper. Malka Witch, possibly Gigi in the background somewhere. Let's do this one like this. Here we go. Let me put up the camera like this so I don't bump my head. But we have a solid direction now. I remember we had mentioned something along those lines before. So that's a good idea. I like where that's going. Get some light over here. Very good. Get a cool expression on Malka's face. This will be fun. Getting into some Halloween mischief. Gotta give Malka a cool expression, and then we can base everything else off of that. I'm actually excited about drawing the hat. bring this in a little closer. There we go. I'll get this. I'll get the hat kind of started, and then I'll hop back over to the chat so I can make sure I don't fall behind. Excelente. Well, bend that hat back. You're flying at high speeds. All right, let's see where we are. Oh, one little detail here that we can't just leave out. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, let me catch up with you guys a little bit. Oh no, I fell behind by a lot. Let's see, something from a Vincent Price movie, says some person. Kevin says, everyone get their pumpkin pies for the great pie fight. The Pumpkin Spice Girls. Ken is all about the Pumpkin Spice Girls. Kevin says, so the girls all have Starbucks in hand? Some person says Three Stooges meets The Thing. I like this idea. That as soon as we get past October things, put a note in that one. That one's just odd enough that it interested me. Courtney says, could be multiple witches, aka The Craft. Yeah. Some person says Abbott and Costello meets aliens. It'd be a good short movie. Kevin says, so where do witches work? In the kitchen. Let's see. Kevin says, I still want to see Bill Mozart take on Abbott and Costello meet Laurel and Hardy. Make it a bloody fight to the finish. Some person says, at the brewery. Courtney says, barefoot? We could do barefoot. That would be cool. That's always kind of sexy. Some person says, I felt that needed a pun. Kevin says, I was going to say at a craft store. Some person says, sorry for stepping on your line, Kevin Green. Now, how could Malka misspell her own name? Malkovich. No, you didn't. I was curious what other people would say. Courtney says, I'm a millennial. We don't do punctuation. Kevin says, oh my God, that's a crossover I hadn't even considered. Malkovich is gold. I know, right? Some person says, why was Malka spelled like that? See, it's good. So now we're getting some lore. We're getting some actual lore. Some person says, I'll write it down on the list. I put it down. I put down Mr. Peanut for some reason. Sexy Mr. Peanut. Keep those ideas in the box, just in case. Because I'm telling you, you never know when they hit right. And then there you go. Then we're off to the races. Just getting a little body language here, a little something something. We're gonna see what it looks like when you ride your broom barefoot. Sexy Cyber Angel Halloween. I'm definitely keeping Laurel and Hardy on standby. Give this some Halloween vibe. Little Halloween inspiration. I don't know if this piece comes together too quickly. Maybe we'll have time for a quick third one. You never know. See how this goes. I really wanted to have that whole flying on a broomstick thing happening for one of these pieces. So I'm glad this one came together. And we still have some more October left to go, so we still got some time to get in some other cool ideas. Here we go. Let me pull back the camera just a little bit. There we go. Oh, we can see the whole thing now. All right, let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Ken is remembering Mr. Peanut. What are you doing with that monocle? Courtney says another cyber angel witch behind her, sharing a broom. Possibility. Kevin says getting a closer look. Some person says Nira, Mr. Peanut, this is nuts. Why not make Mercy the Pringles guy? Ken says, and Chester Titara. Chester Titara, what a mix. Oh my gosh. Kevin says the Pringles guy. What a mustache ride that would be. Some person says, and Zen as Twinkie the Kid. Oh my gosh, we got like the whole marketing department on this. Kevin says, oh no, I don't want to see my Cheetos with boobs. Round, comforting, fits in the mouth, tasty, but makes a mess everywhere. I guess it's okay. Kevin says, Lady Death would be proud of this witch. Ah, thank you, sir. Kevin says, Dawn, too. Ah, yes. Kevin says, if the Wicked Witch looked more like this, no one would have wanted to melt her. Courtney says, love this. Oh, awesome. Yeah, just a solid Halloween simple, like single piece. I really like the idea. I might do this. Like, I like the idea of the tattered skirt flying everywhere. Maybe like flying behind her a little bit. There we go. Nice and Halloweeny. Some person says a witch riding the broom wrong. Like she's riding it backwards. Ken says a little tiny hanging on for dear life from the tip of the broom. That could be a thing. I like this idea. This could be a thing. It speaks to me. There we go. We'll get her a little bit more solid in there when we ink her up. She's hanging on. She's hanging on. The little tinies. Some person says maybe a familiar could be a cat or waffle with a hat. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. Like, I want to draw waffle, but at the same time, the cat seems like a cool idea. I like the cat for a Halloween kind of thing. Let's see what we can do with a cool little fluffy cat. Good ideas, guys. Awesome, awesome. All right, cool. Let's see where we are here. Let's see. Oh no, she's she's writing it just right. It's even got a vibrate feature to ease any stress from the long flights. Night Phoenix says her as Taro. Let's see. Some person says, Taro, we're gonna need a bigger pair of boobs. That's true. Let's see. Kevin says, that's a witch. Even her sister is nice. Let's see here. Kevin says, Taro at Courtney's Laser. You might like it. Jim really makes the ladies pop from the pages. Yeah, I always I read his stuff or I saw his artwork a lot more when he was still drawing Catwoman before, because Taro is like his creator-owned book, right? But I never really picked it up that much. Every once in a while, just for the artwork. Ken says, with Taro, you need an additional page for the boobs to fit. It's true. Some person says, I think it was in Taro that you get the famous line, I'm sorry, but your vagina is haunted. Kevin says, what an extreme close-up that would be. Kevin says, you killed my booby spiders, you jerk. Yes, it was. Some person says Gigi could be holding onto her own broom, having fallen off and grabbed onto the handle. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. You know, I think with this one, let me put a little circle around this part. I think with this one, I'm gonna call it. I think, you know, we got like 25 minutes left. So let me grab a sheet of paper. We'll do something fresh and new. We'll have 3 pieces. We'll have 3 pieces and a bonus piece for tonight. Here, let me go grab a sheet of paper real quick. Let me grab an extra sheet of paper. I'm running to the bag to grab paper. Because the way this one ended up, I feel like it's finished. I feel like that's a good layout. I feel like that's a good layout for that one. There we go. Now I can plug myself back into the matrix. Like if I don't hear the little music in the background, I feel like the show's not on. There you go. Got my headphones in. All right. Yeah, we got a little less than half an hour. We got plenty of time to sketch something different. Let's see what we can come up with, guys. Kevin says, yeah, it's his book, 150 bi-monthly issues, and going 150 issues. Wow, bro. That's amazing. I didn't think it was that many issues. Fresh and nude? Some person bills on his game. He must have had extra coffee. Little extra coffee. I had like pizza, I had chicken, I had like rice. Kevin says it's all about pizza and Coke. Absolutely. I'll take Coke or Pepsi. I'm not, I'm an equal opportunity soda drinker. Yes, and M&Ms. Kevin says 150 self-published issues on that too. I know, that's freaking amazing. Some person says Gigi seems like the clumsy sort. She'll accidentally fall into a worse situation and somehow escapes. Well, let's start drawing Gigi a little bit. We're going to start drawing Gigi and we'll just see where this goes. She is prone to accidents and of the sort. She's got those luscious lips. And I like the hairstyle that she ended up having. It really works for her. Once I get her hair in here, we'll figure out what's going to be happening. Change the light out in my pencil. Un momento, por favor. Yeah, man. I have to put. I hear more lead in there somewhere. All right, we're gonna. I still got my trusty Japanese pencil. Ken has inspired me to buy better mechanical pencils for my daily ins and outs. Here's what I need a reference for, because she has specific spots for her face. There we go. All right, let's see what we got going on. Let me see if I can catch up with you guys a little bit. I don't have to scroll up too far. It's good. It's good. Some person says I'm basing off of that one cover, though. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's all the life that she has right now. I mean, she's brand new, man. She's brand new. So the body language and the way that she looks on that cover is basically how. That's as much as we know about her so far. So you're tapping into the right thing. Night Phoenix says, at Kevin, I was surprised it was still being published. Oh, yeah, Tarot, yeah. Yeah, much bigger pumpkins needed for Tarot. LOL. Yeah, take up the whole page. Kevin says, clumsy. Maybe she's related to Bad Luck Schleprock. Wowsy. Woo. Patang, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. That's awesome. Everybody saying hello. Awesome. Kevin says, someone just got the notification. Well, you didn't miss the bidding, so that's good. Kevin says, nobody knows where my nose has gone. Ken says, it's with Jessica Rabbit's nose. That's where it has gone. Kevin says, she reminds me of Lola Angelina Jolie from Shark Tale. Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see that. I could see her as having that fish as a pet. Courtney says giraffes have very long tongues. This is very true. It's only science. Some person says black tongues too. Well, not Gigi. Gigi doesn't have a black tongue. She is giraffe inspired. So her tongue will be cuter. But we do need to have a scenario for her. Let's see where things go with her right now. Cute little Gigi. Getting into trouble. Just kind of figuring out what her body language is telling us this time. All right, let's see where we go from here. We're going to take this as it goes. We got like a good 15 minutes left. We're going to see what happens to Gigi during this piece. Some person says, would she have a power or save that for later? I don't know that she has like an overtly like some type of cosmic power. I could see her having the attributes of a giraffe, where she's strong, she's fast, she's lean. I'm sure she could survive the desert. She could survive the jungle. But yeah, she's much more athletic than a human. Much stronger than a human. But not, I don't think she has powers. Like, like cosmic powers, or like she could fire energy from her hands, or she could lift up, super heavy objects. Like if it's something that a giraffe could do, I think she could definitely do it. Like if a giraffe can beat the crap out of a person, so she's definitely stronger than us. Yeah, some person says could be just athletic. Yep. Kevin says it's not her neck that grows. That would be funny if she could stretch, like if she could reach with her hand and like her body is able to actually stretch out longer. So it's like it's sort of still in keeping with the idea of a giraffe having long necks, and she doesn't have a super long neck because we want her to look like this. But I don't know. I don't know if I want her body to be able to morph or to extend. You ever pick up a cat? How a cat just they just stretch really, really long, but it's not like a superpower. It's just that their bodies are just flexible that way. So maybe her body is flexible that way. Ken says the power to eat vegetation at higher than normal heights. Yeah, it's possible that like maybe she can extend her whole body, but like a limited amount. She's not Mr. Fantastic. She's not going to stretch like rubber. But she probably could stretch like maybe to like, if we could limit it to twice her height. I think that's actually kind of far. Maybe like take her height, chop that in half, and then that far, maybe. But nothing too outlandish, like her body couldn't handle it. Courtney says, no superpowered tongue? well, her tongue, compared to us, compared to human beings, it would be considered superpowered. Just because she's so much stronger than us. Kevin says, wow, I just got a notification that you're live on YouTube. Should I go watch your stream, Bill? Oh my gosh. Please, everybody, click like on my video since now the notification is out. That way YouTube thinks that maybe we have a show. Courtney says, like Toad. You know, Toad stretches like super far. I don't think her tongue could stretch that far. Because I don't want her to be like so stretchy. But then again, like I'm saying that about her body though. So I don't know, maybe her tongue can stretch out super far. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Because there's a character on My Hero Academia. She has like the powers of a frog, and her tongue is like can go super long, like basically like Mr. Fantastic. Her tongue can actually shoot out and wrap around things and grab things or whatever. Kind of like Toad. Some person says a tongue that grabs things. Yep. This could be a thing. It's like you're convincing me that having the superpowered tongue would be visually like really fun and really cool. But I don't want her body to stretch like rubber. Maybe like stretch like, like longer than normal, but not like crazy. Ken says, shouldn't she have horns or be horny in general? I will admit that she's probably horny in general. Some person says giraffes are good at kicking things. Oh, I believe she could kick the hell out of something. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yeah, she can kick a car in half or something. And if she kicks you, you might be dead. So you don't want her kicking you. Kevin says, horny in general. Now that would get her in trouble. Some person says, part giraffe, part banana. Kevin says now he can now can she enjoy her meals if she can't smell all those delightful aromas? Maybe she smells like through her eye ducts or something. I'll still give her the sense of smell. I just didn't want her to have the nose like as an attribute. Kevin says, don't rub her the wrong way. Some person says for later, maybe she's got those knobby ears. They're just hidden in her hair. That we should make her ears a slightly different shape. Yeah. Maybe not as knobby as a giraffe's actual ears, but definitely make them like a slightly different shape. Not like long and pointy like an elf or anything like that, but like small and yeah. Definitely got me thinking about that. Ken says superpowered tongue, so she eats vegetation. You get half a point for that. Some person says maybe it could go out a foot from her mouth. It'd be strong, so she could poke eyes with it. That's true. Yeah, give it like a physical limit, because it's not a magical power that she has, or it's not a cosmic power. Like it's actually like a physical attribute. Kevin says, I had a feeling you and Courtney were going to go that way. Kevin says, but giraffes don't like heights. But they know how to deal with them because they have no choice. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me see. All right, now we haven't really gotten her doing anything just yet. But we're starting to run out of time. So let's make sure that we get her doing some. This could be the first drawing that shows her sort of elongating her body a little bit. So we can give her legs that attribute, so that we're starting to imply the first. These are the first times that we're showing off what her abilities could be. So let's make her legs a little long. Yeah, I like the idea of her having these physical attributes that are essentially they're, you could consider them superpowers, but they're not cosmic superpowers, so they're not like she's not going to stretch all the way to like 10 stories or something like that. Let me check something out real quick. Oh yeah, I did have some armbands on her. Look at that, see? I had to remember I did that. And I left off her belt only because, like, I want her to look long. I want her to be, like, nice and long. I sort of just have this is more like a presentation pose. This is more like a character study pose. We just got her kind of like just walking along, just being playful. And like we might actually use this in the book as to like do a little write-up about her. Have some nice leaves over here, little jungle leaves. Yeah, all right. And we could still have a little something going on in the background if you want. See what happens. Kevin says a foot-long tongue would be very distracting. Only if she couldn't roll it back in, because then that's a problem. Kevin says, or let the winner suggest what she's doing. It's a possibility. Kevin says, with legs like that, she could be a rocket. And she could be at the Radio City Music Hall doing them kicks. Kevin says, is Bill becoming Liefeld? It's just that her legs are long, dude. I couldn't fit her feet in there. Some person's maybe a roller skater, rugby player. She could be into something sporty that's used in fighting. That's good. That's good. Just leave it up to Bill to come up with a good use for his art. All right, well, guys, I tell you what. You got me drawing a lot tonight. I'm very happy about that. We're gonna take a quick look to see what is the bounty tonight. What's happening for tonight? So we've got 3 pieces. We have 4 pieces because this was I introduced this one as this was supposed to be the only little bonus piece for tonight, which is a little Nira pencil sketch. So we've got the Halloween Witch. We've got Malka, the Halloween Witch. We've got the Headless Horseman. We've got Snoopy. I'll say this is the Snoopy adventure. And then we've got Gigi. We keep on developing Gigi. It's like we're kind of crowdfunding the ideas together for Gigi, so that her attributes, her powers, her look, and now we even have a little bit more of her attitude, like how she is. She's playful. She's a little clumsy. She kind of gets into trouble. So it's like you guys are actually developing. We're developing this character together. Some person says the first ever drawing of Gigi as the main focus. Yeah, absolutely. This is the very first one. I drew her on the cover of Zen. She's just supposed to be a background character, but now she's becoming her own thing. So, technically speaking, if I do a one-shot with Gigi, I could use this as the cover. I can have the title, it's got plenty of space to do things, or even if we do a chapter with just her, like this would be the cover piece for that piece. And in fact, I'm going to make sure I note it down. This is going to be her intro cover. So whenever we do get around to finally doing a couple page story, or maybe even doing something special with her, I'm going to make sure that we use this piece as the cover. And I think that's going to be dope. I think that's going to be really cool. Kevin says, that's Snoop having a good dream. This is true. Some person says this could be a history being made. That's true. History. That's her story. But it's true. It's like, it's cool. It's like, coming up with this stuff and then tossing around the ideas. This is kind of like how we used to sit around in the studio with a bunch of other artists and stuff, just throwing ideas back and forth, seeing what lands, seeing what people like, what they don't like, and it comes together. It comes together in a cool way when it's done like that, and it's more fun. I mean, it's like you had a hand in it a little bit. You had something to do with it. So I think that's really cool. All right, so we're gonna do these one at a time so I don't get confused. So let's see. We're gonna put this here. Put this here. The nearest sketch is gonna be the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down here. Make sure we keep track of everything. The first one is going to be the Snoopy Adventure. That'll be our first piece that we auction off tonight. It's midnight right now. So we'll go ahead and let this go until 12:05. If you would like to bid on it. In fact, I'll put up the little thing here so that way it's bid time. Kevin, thanks, dude. I respect that $1. Don't even say it. So I'm gonna write down my Snoopy thing here. I remember Paul at the very beginning of the show put in a preemptive 69 on everything that we're doing tonight because Paul had to go to work. He's got an early morning, so he wanted to bid the 69. So I'm gonna write down, Paul. I did write down yours, Kev. The $1. I'd still respect the $1. You kidding me? So Kevin says, "Oh, it's already 69." Boob. Chris Dehan says $3. Some person says good placement of Bill the Cat. Oh, thank you. Let me turn the light this way a little bit. There we go. That way you can see the artwork good. You see the whole thing. Cool. All right, so the current bid in the house right now is Paul with 69. Paul had to leave early, so he's putting in a I'm not here 69 bid. And we'll let this go until 12:05, and then I'm going to go into the pop out chat. I'm going to go into the live chat on the YouTube channel to do the 10-second countdown. At the 3-second mark, if there's an interruption at the 3-second mark, then I will start it at 3 all over again. That was a little rule that we implemented a little while back, thanks to Ken, and I think everybody likes it, so we've kept it. Yeah, Ken says, Bill, do a last-minute drawing of just a stick figure so Paul has a standing bid of 69. That's awesome. Let's do it. No, poor Paul. We can't do that. Paul's a good guy. Let's see. Kevin says, Bill must have put his tongue to good use in the pumpkin. Oh, he did. That's why he's happy. Courtney says, Kev, nice boob. You're sending Courtney boob pics. All right, I'll put in a little thing here for Paul because we said we would. So it's all good. And he was bidding on everything tonight. So I'll let that sit on the thing there. Now we should talk about what the rules should be for somebody who's not here putting a bid on pieces. Like, because he says he wanted to put a bid on all of them just because he figures people might bid on it, and so he has a chance of winning one of them. So I think you should still continue bidding, even though it's under 69. Because maybe somebody who's not here who wants to have an absentee bid, maybe they should only win one piece. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that somebody who's not here should be able to bid on all the pieces, or should they only win one piece? What do you guys think about it? See, there's a new situation, so I want you guys' input. Because I think we're a really cool group, and we're all friends, and I think it'd be good for us to be all on the same page when it comes to that sort of thing. Kevin says, "I thought Ken put in a preemptive boob." Well, he was asking if he could. So Ken, if you would like to put in a boob, I'm just saying. Kevin says 34 and a half bid, 1/2 of 69. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down your 34, even though 69 is the high bid. Did you guys have any ideas or any thoughts about somebody who is not present at the show putting in a absentee bid on something? Let's see, Kevin says double 34 and add my $1 and you have 69. So it works. All right, well, it's 12:06. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump out to the live chat and do a 10-second countdown. Ken says, I think that the absentee bid works for all pieces. Kevin says, I would think they should bid on one in the future. True, but if they're not here, they won't know which one to bid on, right? But bidding on all pieces, maybe there's a piece that it might only go for $20. You want everybody to have a chance to win. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the 10-second countdown on this one. Starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let's see, I'll stop at 3 real quick just because we have some comments, because we are working our way through these rules. Let's see, Ken says maybe the bid goes for each piece until they win and then no more after that. That seems fair, right? Kevin says, I guess we're just in a gray area. It's a little bit of a gray area. It feels like a gray area. But I would like it to be fair to everybody. All right, continuing the countdown, starting with 3 again. 2, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to mark it as sold with the 000. Marking that as sold. And I'm going to go ahead and write down Paul for this one as sold. Now, since he did win this one, let's go ahead and do the next one without the preemptive bid attached to it. If for some reason it doesn't go as high as 69, then we'll know that Paul possibly won that one. That way, everybody has a chance to win it for a lower bid. So I'm going to set this one down over. Actually, you know what? Let me write Paul's name on the back of this one. Very, very cool. And now we have Malka, the cyber witch. And it's 12:10, so we're going to let this go until 12:15. And this is the witchy piece. Kevin says, yeah, if Paul were to win at all, I don't know if he'd want to be paying nearly $280. Well, he's only going to go as high as 69. Oh, I mean, yeah, you know what? That's true. It's like if he wins all of the pieces put together, 69 times 3 or 4 pieces, and he doesn't know how many pieces there are at the end of the night, so he may only be expecting 2 pieces. So this is true too. There's lots of little ins and outs. So I know that Paul won the first piece, so we're on a good start. We're going to do this without the preemptive bid, and if it does not go above 69, if it does not go above 69, or it gets close to 69, then the person would win it for the lower amount. So we're taking these things as they go. Kevin in here with $1. Thank you, dude. Ken, I want my $2. Christy Hand in the room with 4. Thanks, bro. Courtney with 25. Thank you so much. Christy Hand back in the room with 35. Thanks, dude. You guys are awesome. Like I said, this will go until 12:15, and then we'll do a 10-second countdown on this one. Sounds good. Sounds good. I kind of like that cat. I'm digging the cat, just like chilling. Courtney in the room with 69.69. That's what I'm talking about. Killing it. Christy Hand in the room with 74. Thanks, brother. I like the 69.69. Courtney with the boob bid. I love the boob bid. 80.08. Boob, which has become a permanent fixture in our lexicon of traditional bids. You're awesome, Courtney. Jason, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Very, very cool. Courtney just put in the traditionary boob bid, which is 80.08. We've got about 3 minutes left, and then we will do a 10-second countdown on this piece. Because it's Halloween here at the Weekly Mouse. Kevin says, everybody give that a swing. Ken says, "We're not worthy." Awesome. Chris Dehan in a room with 83. Thanks, dude. He's like, it's Halloween night. A little less than 2 minutes left to go. Excelente. All right, less than 1 minute, and this witch adventure shall be flying away. Malka the Cyber Angel, doing Halloween right. Now we'll get the other piece of art up here. Jason says, "No, it shall be witched." All right, we're almost there, everybody. Chris currently in the room. Oh, Ken is wondering who the little tiny is. I drew her to be Mercy. Usually when I draw, it's like I always draw like the little bangs. When I ink her, you'll see like I have Mercy's bangs on there. Courtney with the Back to the Future bid. Hell yeah. Courtney says, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious witch. All right, it is 12:15. I'm going to go out to the live chat and do a 10-second countdown. When we get to 3 seconds, if it's interrupted, then we'll start at 3 seconds again. Let's get going with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I've got an interruption. Chris Dehan is in the room with 91. Courtney right back with 99. Awesome, awesome. And we're going to start at the 3-second mark one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Courtney, currently the heavy hitter right now, starting at 3, 2, 1. And marking it sold with a 000. And we are sold. Oh my gosh, Chris, 1 second too late. Please, everybody congratulate Courtney. That was awesome. Awesome bidding on that one. You guys are badass. Chris Dehan just 1 second too late with 100 bid. Some person says almost. Kevin says, good try, Chris. Courtney says, GG, Chris. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to write Courtney's name on the back of this piece. Thank you so much, Courtney. And of course, you, along with everybody else who wins a piece, if you wanted me to lean it a little bit more not safe for work. But honestly, I really like with the skulls on her and stuff. So if you want me to ink it just like this, you can just tell me as is in the chat. or when you send your PayPal or Venmo later on. Be totally cool. Chris Dehan says, "Congrats, awesome." Courtney saying thanks. You guys are awesome. Courtney says, "I love the skulls." As is, perfect. I was hoping. I really like the skulls there. Sweet. All right, we're gonna keep her safe right over here. We've got 2 more pieces left for the night. There's going to be Gigi, which is up next. And then we've got a Nira X pencil sketch. Now, the pencil sketch is going to stay in pencil just like this. We did these pencil sketches for one of our campaigns. And so it's that's what this is from. So I actually did one sketch too many. So I'm going to have that as our last little goodie for the evening, little bonus. Safe for work. Boo. Kevin says you can commission a not safe for work version, Ken. Kevin, thank you so much. Starting the bid already for Gigi. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down Kevin for $1. It's 12:20 right now, so we're going to let this go till 12:25. Gonna let that go for 5 minutes, and then we'll do a 10-second countdown for this. Gigi, first actual fully inked solo piece. Ken says, I want my $2 bid. Some person says, Gigi, the soon-to-be superstar. You never know. You never know. She's getting a lot of love. Chris Dehan in the room with $3. Start rolling the bids. That's awesome, guys. Jason says Cortana with aquatic abilities. She definitely has a Cortana inspired hairdo, although her hair is like red. But honestly, you know, when I thought about her haircut always reminds me of the way it's done like that. It's always a Ghost in the Shell Motoko kind of thing with my brain. Night Phoenix with $10. Thanks, dude. And we're off to the races, my friends. Kevin says, I already see Cortana shorting out. Chris Dehan in the room with 14. Thanks, dude. Sharpen my pencil. Ken in the room with 20. Thanks, dude. Chris Dehan back with 23. Thanks, dude. Night Phoenix. Big pom-pom. Big pom-pom. Big pom-pom? Pimpin'? Big pimpin'. 25. I'll take that. Chris Dehan back in the room with 27. Thanks, dude. This is a good race. Still got 4 minutes left. A little less than 4 minutes. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. I thought it was big pimpin'. Absolutely. You never know. We'll get some international fans every once in a while. Yeah, they got different sayings, different places. You never know. Stupid spell correct. We got you. Big pimpin'. Hell yeah. Jason says big pimpin'. So classic. Big pimpin's always a classic. Hell yeah. Ken says he's medium pimpin'. All right, the current bid in the room right now is Chris Dehan's at 27. Thanks, dude. Big pumpkin. Here you go. Kevin says, just to steal the threes, 33 bid. Hell yeah. Kevin with 33. Thanks, dude. Take all the threes for yourself. You see what happens? Chris Dehan in the room with 36. Thank you, my friend. Kevin says, damn, he found a 3. Night Phoenix back in the room with 37. Thanks, dude. Chris Dehan back in the room with 38. Hell yeah. This is Gigi, man. It's like, I'm going to hold myself to it. If we do a story, even if it's a short story or whatever, this is going to be the cover piece to that story. I'm going to make sure that she has a published legacy. Jason says maybe he found a dime too. We accept all forms of monetary denominations. It's the only way that we can continue doing this. That's the only thing about it being an adult. Well, it's one of the things I don't like about being an adult is having to monetize your time just because you're an adult. Everything costs money. So this makes it all legit. You guys are supporting. We're doing something fun together. That's what it's all about. All right. It looks like it is 12:25. Time for us to hop out into the live chat. Kevin says, I will airmail you all funds in pennies. No, it weighs too much. Oh, everybody has to sell something. I go to Walmart, they're selling me something too. That's what it is. It's what it is. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. All right, we're going to do a 10-second countdown right now. I'm hopping out into the live chat. So starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So pretty, you better mail 1 penny at a time. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, marking it sold with 000. And it is sold. Let's congratulate Chris Dehan. Yes. Let me scroll up, make sure nothing got in between. Chris Dehan with 38. You're awesome, dude. That was a good deal, man. Got Gigi's first full-fledged pinup cover. All right, hopping back over to the thing. Kevin says, lucky you, he says. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, guys. All right, that's 38. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put your name on the back of this one, my friend. Put this right down here so it's safe. It says, luck you. Luck be a lady. All good, dude. All good. And then this one, I'll bag and board it. It's like that. That's the reason that we drew them this size. I like doing sketches, especially like at shows or for campaigns and stuff that are about this size, so that way I can bag and board them. Very easy to collect and put away and stuff. Well, let's see. It's 12:27. So at 12:32, we will call this one and do a 10-second countdown on this. And this is our little bonus piece of the evening. Kevin says, I'll get that for $1. Thanks, dude. And this piece will stay just as it is in pencil. Bring it in a little bit closer there so you can see. And 12:32, we'll go ahead and call this one, and it'll be a Saturday night, my friend. Courtney in the room with 25. Thank you so much. Night Phoenix in a room with 30. Thanks, dude. Got a little less than 3 minutes left. Ken, this pencil you gave me, still going strong, man. I'm loving this pencil. Chris Dehan in the room with 33. Thanks, dude. Is it going to be a double Dehan night? Double the Dehan. Ken says Nira just got back from getting her lips done. Well, they have to look and feel just right. Can't go out with not done lips. All right, a little less than 2 minutes. Kevin says she took her inspiration from Angelina Jolie. With the luscious lips. With them Tomb Raider lips. All right, Christy Hand's in the room with 33 right now. Got about a minute and a half. You guys came up with some really, really fun ideas tonight. I had no idea we were going to draw Gigi tonight. Holy crap. That was a surprise. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then, let me see. What day is today? Today's the 12th. So we got two more episodes of a Halloween theme to think about. See what kind of crazy ideas we can come up with. All right, less than a minute to go. Kevin says, bid 40. Those lips are made for kissing. And that's just what they'll do. One of these days, my lips will be all over you. Kevin in the room with 40. Thanks so much, dude. Some person says, I heard Gigi say, what about me? All right, looks like it is time, my friends. All right, so I'm gonna leave Kevin's bid up there. And I'm gonna start the countdown on the pop-out chat. Kevin, clear me up just a little bit. Did you say, are you telling somebody to bid 40? Or did you bid 40? Because when you write the number next to the word bid, I'm thinking that's a bid. But I think the way I'm reading your thing, you're asking people to bid 40. So make sure you clear me up real quick before I do the countdown. Night Phoenix says, got to do Claire before Halloween. Nira is Claire with Faust claws. That sounds like a really good idea. That sounds like a cool idea. Please remember that for next week. That might be super cool. Plus, I don't think that I've drawn like something Claire related. You know what I mean? Like that Resident Evil-ish. Kevin said Claire de Lune. Kevin says okay, excellent, dude. All right, so Kevin's bid is at 40. We're going to go ahead and start that 10-second countdown. Thanks, dude. Starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it sold with the 000. And it is sold, my friends. Let me just scroll up real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. And we are good. Please, everybody, congratulate Kevin for the winning bid at 40. Thanks so much, dude. I'm going to write your name on the back of this piece here, so I got you. Thanks so much, man. Very, very cool. Oh, some person, thanks for sharing the links to the website. That's always like super, super helpful. I really appreciate you doing that always. Kevin says, I'm a winner. About time. Courtney says, nice win, Kev. Awesome, awesome. Some person is sharing out our secret Patreon club link where we will be posting all of our artwork that we do here on the show. And then there's hopefully we're going to do like not safe for work versions of some of those pieces also. It's like we've marked them off as we went along. So it's slowly updating, but we're getting there. We're getting closer to updating the page again. Chris Dehan says, congrats. Thanks so much, dude. Ken says, congrats. Night Phoenix says, congrats. Very, very cool. Some person says Bill Moss's not secret Patreon page at patreon.com/BillMossArt. Now that specific one, that is a general audience Patreon. That's not the adult one. And I'm going to start being active on that page again in January. So starting in January, we're starting a brand new project. I don't know if it's going to be a new page every month or a new page every week. It might be every single week. We've been working on something called Infinite Catfight. It's hilarious. It's funny. And hopefully, I think it's going to be a new page every single week. But that starts in January. So that's my birthday is in January. So that's kind of like, that's my starting point where I'm going to get active on that page again. So I appreciate you guys supporting any of my Patreons. I mean, it's always a huge help and keeps the studio fresh with pencils and paper and making sure we can do these things. Also sharing the website for Cat Mouse. Thank you so much, dude. Always super important to support her. She's got a new project that's coming out very soon. I can't talk about it right now, but it's good. It's a big project for her. So I'm looking forward to really pushing and promoting her new project that's about to come out. Sometime you'll know about it. You'll know about it before the month is out. It's an October thing, so we'll find out what's going on with Kat. Kevin says, time to give her the flash dance treatment. Yes. Some person says, follow Cat Mouse's Instagram at that link. Thank you so much. That's awesome. She is going to be doing some live streaming on Instagram also. She finally got enough members. Thanks to everybody. Some person says, follow Cat Mouse on X also. Kevin says, cat fight. I know who's going to win. Some person also says, sub the elusive and illustrious Cat Mouse on YouTube as well. Very, very cool. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoy coming out here every Saturday and hanging out with me and hanging out with our group. We got such a cool group of friends here that like to hang out. I hope everybody clicks on the like button for the video. And if you know anybody who would like to join us, get them to subscribe, and get them to be a part of our band of friends, as it were. Some person says, who knows when Kat will stream again? Make sure to sub so you don't miss her. Exactly. She doesn't have a normal schedule yet. She's been testing her cameras. She's been testing her thing and kind of getting used to doing it now that she has access to it. So that's, I don't have a schedule just because I'm not her and I don't know what it is. But let me pull the camera back. I'll take a quick look at everybody's bounty for the evening. We got our first full page GG artwork. We've got our Witchy Night with Malka. We've got our Nira X sketch. And we've got our old Hallows Eve with Snoopy. That's a lot of artwork for one night. You guys gave me a lot of good ideas and it was a lot of fun. Let's see, Kevin says, join us. Be one of us. One of us. One of us. All right, let me turn that little bit off. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again. It's been a great Saturday. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your weekend. And, hope the weather is okay where you are. I don't know where everybody is, but we're supposed to be getting some kind of crazy weather starting tomorrow, Monday, something like that. So I guess I might be a little bit quiet, but that's okay. I got lots to draw inside. And other than that, thanks so much. As always, Christopher Bouchard saying all artwork looks awesome as always. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Some person says championship drawing. How many drawings do you make in a day at cons? That varies a lot. But it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you're spending a whole weekend and stuff. So it could be a lot of sketches. There's a lot of quick sketches, and there's a handful of finished inked pieces that can get done, and then pieces that don't get done at the show I end up taking with me back home so I can finish them and mail them out to people. So it bounces back and forth. So I don't really have a solid number for you. Kevin says breast wishes to you all. Bad weather coming this way. Oh, supposedly. Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody stays safe. Everybody has a good time. I know New York Comic Con is going on right now. We got lots of good friends up there having a lot of fun. Wishing them a very successful, very happy and fun weekend. And other than that, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will see you again soon here on the Weekly Mouse. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again.
Good night, Seattle.